on YouTube. Hey guys, what's up? Happy Friday. This is May 1st. So happy May 1st. Hopefully all is going well. Today, I'm excited. We've got another coffee talk. So this is, let me look here. What is this one? This is session number 34, which is kind of crazy. And today we're going to talk about avoiding shiny objects, how to know what to focus on in your business and really in your life. How do we figure that out? I know it can be pretty hard to do at times. And I think when we get distracted with the shiny objects, we have to ask ourselves, should we be focusing on that shiny object? Because as entrepreneurs, we always love something new to focus on. So that's what we're going to be talking about. Do me a favor. Let me know that you're there. Leave a comment. Let me know that you are able to see and hear and all of that stuff. And then also, if it's your first time, let me know that as well. I would love to see who is joining us for the first time. As I said yesterday and all of the other coffee talks, if you would do me a quick favor and invite a friend to either this one or maybe tomorrow's or the next days. We just really want to be able to hang out with people here that are looking to be motivated, inspired, and really take action on their business and their life. So that's really what we're doing here on these morning talks. And we've kind of came up with a title for this this coffee talk. We're calling ourselves the Take Action Morning Crew. So if you are part of the Take Action Morning Crew and you're here live, well, you're part of the morning crew. So thank you. Hey, Justin, what's up, man? How are you? All the way from Australia. Glad to see you here. We've got Morning Coffee Crew, Facebook user. I can't see who that is for some reason in the comments. Let me know who you are, your first name. Lena, morning from Toronto, Canada. That's awesome. And Hair Weave 101. Guess what? I remembered the name just from the Hair Weave 101. It's Rebecca. Rebecca, welcome back. I'm proud of myself. I actually remembered that. Estela, how are you? Good morning to you as well. Karen, always good to see you. Working hard. Yes. Salama, how are you doing? Glad to see you back. Let's see. Alta, good afternoon from Turkey. Wow. That's pretty awesome. How's the weather in Turkey right now? Just curious. Today here, it's going to be nice. It's going to be probably in the 60s. Just curious. Hey, what's going on over there from the UK on Instagram? Good morning. Let's see here. JDE0990. Hey, Scott, I hear a lot about you from the podcast I listen to. Do you offer mentoring? Well, I'm mentoring right now. If you show up in the morning, it's kind of what we're doing. But yeah, there are other ways. I have an academy, Brand Creators Academy. That's one of our main things that we do. We have other things, but really what we're doing here is we're trying to come together as a group and help each other stay motivated, inspired, but also take away a nugget each day to go out there and just rock your day, rock your week. So that's what we're going to be doing. So I just wanted to give some shout outs. Hassan, what is up from Boston? How are you doing, man? And let me also say that if you are viewing on YouTube, you can subscribe to the channel and then be notified when we go live. That would be awesome. But also, if you're watching this after the fact, if you go right here, there should be a little card that pops up that gives you all of the past coffee talks. So make sure that you do that. Also, a lot of you have asked, Scott, what is the setup that you're using, in this live setup? And so what I did is I created a video that actually goes through all of the setup and everything, because no matter if you're just starting, you may want to shoot video or you might want to do lives. I think you should. I think all markets will lend themselves to that. But you can check all that stuff out in a video that I created, which I will put that right here after this is live. And if not, you can just go in the description. All right. So I want this to be interactive. I want to ask you guys, do you suffer from the old shiny object syndrome? Just give me a raise, give me a raise of hands out there if you suffer from that or have suffered from that. I'm going to raise mine. Yes, I've definitely, and I still at times see myself wandering off and then coming back, wandering off and coming back. So if you suffer from that, let me know in the comments, just so we all can see that it's not just me. And I think that we all are a lot alike. Anyone that I talk to usually says, yeah, I've definitely suffered from that. So just put that in the comments just so we can see where we're at here. Because we're going to talk about that. I'm going to give you some things that you can do to avoid that, but also really hone in on the things that you should be focusing on. All right. Hey, Derek, what's up, man? From Atlanta, Georgia. Jennifer, what's up? Welcome back, Jennifer. Glad to see you again. And yes, you say yes. Salama, Renee, Derek, Karen, trying to set goals and keep my blinders on. Yeah, that's a good one, right? Yeah, so it's definitely something that we all struggle with. I wanted to dig into that. So let me go ahead and get my little notes up here. So the thing is, and this is really, really important, okay? And it has to do with anything that we do. If you want to get a result, okay, number one, we have to know what that result is, right? So if we know that we want to build a business, that's just such a big task, right? It's a big project. We need to figure out what are the projects, what are the steps that we need to take, right? Makes sense. But here's the other thing. When we start to build a business, we start to hear other people, or we start to subscribe to other people's, emails and maybe their Facebook feed. And then we start hearing the new thing. You got to go out there and you got to start getting on Instagram. You got to start getting on Pinterest. You got to start using messenger bots. You got to start, building content. You got to start building an email list. You hear all of this stuff. And I'm one of those people that is saying, like, you should be building a list. You should be creating content. But here's the deal. If you're not ready for that yet, just put it on the shelf for right now. You don't have to do it right now, because that right there is going to take your focus away from what you need to do in order to get to the place to where you can do that, right? So if you're thinking about, well, I've been hearing this thing about like Facebook messengers is just people are crushing it. Their open rates are so high, the clicks are all, and all this stuff, but you haven't started building an email list yet. You might want to start with that one first, because ultimately the messenger bot thing is going to lead you back to wanting to build an email list, because that's what you're doing. We want to get them off of that platform and on our own channel. Right? So it's just an example. And you do need to figure out what it is that you're actually trying to do. Now, as entrepreneurs, we love new things. We love shiny objects. We love it. It's like, oh, cool, new, shiny, fun, looks awesome. The sales page looked great. The graphics look awesome. They sold me, right? And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that and being excited about something. So how do you satisfy the craving, right? How do you satisfy that? I've got something here for you. Give yourself permission to spend, an hour a week on something that does not have to do with what you are working on right now, right? Or maybe it's a fun project. I get this a lot. Actually, I did an interview yesterday, which is going to be airing, which is amazing, from Colin from Shop Mechanics. Got a channel of over 890,000 subscribers on YouTube. He's built that over the past 7 years, crushing it, doing a great job. But now he's got a new project that he's working on. He's building a media company in a sense, and real excited about it. Got some big NBA players that are backing it and all of that stuff. And he's really excited about it, but he's looking over here now. So obviously on the other side of things, the thing that he's working on, that, can start to slip if you don't, make that a priority. So in order for him to do this other thing, he had to allow himself that time. So if he just focused on that thing and forgot about this thing, then this thing's going to start losing, right? So you have to think about priorities, number one, but you got to be disciplined on that priority, right? And you can be disciplined on that and still satisfy the craving of, hey, I want to play over there. Like I want to play, but I know I shouldn't be because it doesn't really help the thing that I'm working on right now. But you need to allow yourself to do that so you feel satisfied. But you also have that discipline on it that says, okay, I did that for my hour. I satisfied that. Even though I'm excited about that, I got to get back over here to basics. I got to get over here to what I know is driving my business or the result that I'm trying to go after, right? If I'm trying to go after losing weight, right, then I want to see that result, but I might not be seeing it right now. So what other things can I do that, like, because if I was starting an exercise program, and then I seen someone else started talking about a different one that worked better, or that might get my interest more. If I start focusing on over here, I'm not really giving this thing all of my attention, all of the focus. So this way here, I can get results, right? So because of that, we need to sit there and say to ourselves, is the thing that's drawing my attention over here, is this thing adding to the project or the goal that I am working on right now? Right? It's not that you can't ever work on that. So give yourself permission to eventually work on that, but also shelf it. Just put it on the side. You don't have to like not ever do it, but you have to ask yourself, is that thing that I'm going to direct my attention to, is it going to benefit what I'm doing right now? Okay. And so you have to kind of figure that part out first. And I've said that before. We've done other coffee talks on that, right? Where we need to figure out what is the thing I'm trying to achieve. If it's this big thing of like, I want to build a business, okay, what does that look like? Do you have your market picked? You do? Okay, well then we got to have a website. Well, the website has to get built, right? So we got to do that first. If I don't have the website built, why am I going to start trying to get attention and traffic over on this other platform if I don't have a place to direct them as of yet? For me, I would do that first. So until that is done, I don't get distracted over here because this is not going to benefit this. Okay. So we have to always think about that. All right. So guys, let me know in the comments if this makes sense and if this is helpful. All right. Let me know. So, all right. I got some notes here that I wanted to kind of run through, and I've got some things that you can do. Okay. So here's another little tip. Okay. And that I've done myself. All right. You need to stop or pause subscribing to the new email list thing, right? Like you got interested in this thing, you subscribe to someone else's email list, and then you start getting emails. That's going to be a constant reminder of the shiny objects, right? You're like, okay, oh yeah, there it is again. Back over here. Oh, there it is again, right? So what you might want to do is either unsubscribe temporarily or just unsubscribe, forever if you know that you're not probably going to do that. And you know that that's just something that's not going to pertain to you right now, right? Or you might need to set up a filter that in your Gmail account, Yahoo, whatever, that basically when that person's email comes in, it just pushes it to a different folder. And then you aren't losing it, right? So you want to do that to lessen the distractions, because if you're having that stuff come into your inbox, you're being constantly reminded and teased in a sense. You're like, oh, remember messenger bots? Remember that? It's fun. Look at today. I've got 80% open rate. And you're like, yeah, I don't even have a website built yet, but that's cool. That sounds fun, right? Or it sounds quicker. That's the other one. Don't fall in the trap of thinking something's going to be quicker. Like, don't fall into that trap. Okay. Because if you look at something, you're like, oh, that's quick. It's probably not sustainable. It's probably a hack, a shortcut that might work temporarily, but it's just not worth it for long term. And you know that. You and I both know if something seems too good to be true, generally it's too good to be true. For me, it's always come down to what's always lasted is when you show up and you do something consistently, you're disciplined on that, and it's basics. Let's take basketball. Okay. The guy I talked to yesterday, Colin. It's all about basics. It's all about mechanics, right? Doing layups. Do 500 layups each side, right? It's not sexy, but it's fundamentally that's what you're supposed to do, right? Foul shots. Got to do 100 foul shots, right? You got to do 3-pointers, right? But everyone wants the new move, right? I want to do that new move, right? But the basics are what win games. Okay, anybody will tell you that. Defense, technically, good defense wins games, because if you stop the other team, the less points you guys score, right? So just remember that when you start to overcomplicate things and you start adding all of those other shiny object things that are drawing you in right now, a lot of times too, that's going to add complexity, right? And anytime you start adding complexity, it gets more confusing. You do less, you feel like you're busier. So to me, I try to avoid that. And actually this year, I made it a point that in our business here in, this area, right? The podcast and stuff, I said to myself, I am stripping this down and we are simplifying. Right now, I don't have an online paid course per se. What I do have is I have Brand Creators Academy, which is only open 4 times a year, right? And then I can just devote all my time to them, and I only have to promote it 4 times a year, right? So that works for me. I can show up here and be with you guys, and then I can go in and I can do all of the interacting with my group on a different level because, obviously they're in there and they're building brands. They're our brand creators, as we call them. And so that works for me, but I've simplified my business model and what I want to do, right? Doing this is so important for any business. When you can spend time to give and to build relationships, that right there will take you so far, right? But the minute that we're just chasing the money, we're trying to figure out the next way to hack something, it's just, to me, it's not a good idea. Basics, simplicity, it always comes down to that. And, if you understand marketing, it doesn't have to be complicated, but you can hear about the latest funnel, right? The latest funnel that's going to convert better, right? And then everybody's going to start doing that, right? If you just stay to the basics, keep showing up, be disciplined, keep the blinders on, right? Keep tuning into the coffee talks, because that's what we do here. We're going to simplify and keep you consistent and taking action, right? It's all about that. It's not about consuming, right? Because think about this, if you're going to try to learn let's say that you're into Facebook ads right now, you've never run them, you're not even ready for it yet, but you said, I want to learn that, right? And then you consume all this time, hours learning and thinking about what could you use for an offer, like all of the parts that make it work. And you do all that stuff, right? But you don't even have your website set up yet. So you're taking all this time that, yes, I got it now. I think I got it, but you don't even have the website built, right? And I see that happen a lot because people are like, I think that's fascinating. I want to learn it. They learn, but they never do, right? We're always consuming because it's easier to consume. It's harder to actually do and to take action, right? So I'm big on that. Like, let's figure out the big project, then let's break it down into mini projects, and then let's chunk down the steps in each project, right? And don't get distracted. If that thing over there, right, that's getting your attention, you have to ask yourself, does that benefit the project I'm working on right now? And if it doesn't, you can't put your attention there. What you can do, though, is you can shelf it or give yourself permission, maybe an hour a week, that you get to play in whatever you want. You get that freedom. All right. So hopefully this was helpful. So again, big question here, if you are dealing with this, is you need to ask yourself, what is your end goal? And then break that into projects. And then from there, break it into chunks within those little projects. All right. That's how I do it. It works. Okay. And then only say yes if it helps you with your current project or short goal. And that's it. It's sweet and simple. All right. Sweet and simple. All right. So let's go ahead and look and see what we got going on here in the chat. Looks like it's blowing up. So this is good. Alta, suffering not from the shiny object syndrome, but low conversions. Well, okay. So then you would ask yourself, this is a perfect example. Low conversions. I don't know what we're talking about as far as like, is it Amazon? Is it your own website? Is it an email opt-in? There's all different conversions that we could be measuring, right? But I would be looking at that. I would look and see if I had better conversions before. And if I did, I would try to reverse engineer why, right? And then I would start asking the questions. When you have something that you've put into play, now we can start asking questions. So it's really about asking the questions and then you trying to figure out the answer. And that's just by troubleshooting and doing things like that. So, okay, cool. Derek, they don't want nothing but your money and blowing up your email. Not always, Derek. I email my list 3 times a week. Like today I emailed this morning. There's no offer in there. It's not buying my stuff. It's like, hey, show up to Coffee Talk maybe, or maybe watch one of the past ones, or how can I help you? Right? It's building relationships right now. Now, could you go over and buy my playbook for $4.99? Yeah. Could you go through an affiliate link over for ConvertKit? Yeah. But I'm not mentioning it. It's just I'm building relationships. But it's not always. But there is a time that you will sell, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. Again, if it's coming from the right place. Give us a written guide. So yeah, okay. Yeah, I mean, I think you're saying I've given you a written guide. How do we stop subscribing? How do you stop subscribing? You just got to be disciplined. You got to ask yourself, do I need to receive this information right now? Or does this person resonate with me? Right? Because if you're there's people I've tuned out. Like I've just tuned out. I've unsubscribed. I don't pay attention anymore. It's just distracting. Like, do I want to see someone that's, and I've got people in this space that are like that are, showing videos of them with a drone video flying over top of a Lamborghini. Right. I don't even want to see it. I don't even care about that because the people that want to see that aren't my audience. So I don't care. Right. So I'm not going to subscribe to something. So you have to understand who you are attracted to, right? In a sense, who do you want to learn from? Who do you want to model? Who gives you inspiration? Who gets you fired up, right? That's what you need to ask yourself. And, I think there's nothing wrong with subscribing if you feel as if they're not trying to take you off the path of where you're trying to go, right? And only you know that. Troy says very true. What's up, Troy? How you doing, my man? Derek, or Mel, Derek, hit the unsubscribe link at the bottom of the page. I love that. Yeah, it's super simple, guys. It's super simple. Like, and I get people that will email me that are on my list, and they'll be like, Scott, I like your stuff, but I don't want to receive anymore. Can you unsubscribe me? And it's always puzzling to me because it's right there. Like, I don't even try to hide it. It's just like, it's right there. After I get done with my email, it's like, don't want any more emails, unsubscribe. So then I'll just unsubscribe them. But yeah, just unsubscribe yourself. It's pretty easy. Every email provider legally needs to have that. So yeah, I've even done it where I'll email the list and go, I'm unsubscribing you. And then I will basically say, listen, I just want to make sure that you want to receive emails in the future from me. Do me a favor. If you do, don't do anything and I'll keep sending you. If you do, here's the link, unsubscribe. Like literally, it's like, here it is. Like, just, it's okay. I don't want to be a distraction for you. I want you to be value to you in your life and your business. Let's see. Mel says, such a great message. So many shiny objects. Yes, there are. Let me ask you guys, and it's okay to admit it. Okay. What is a shiny object right now that you're kind of teetering in? You're kind of looking at it and you're like, oh, I don't know if it's the right thing. I'm not really sure that I'm supposed to be focusing on this. It's really, really cool looking, or it's really interesting. I want to learn more. What is something right now? Right now, drop it in the comments on Instagram, comments over here. Let me know. What is something right now that is a shiny object for you? Okay. Let me know that. Be interesting to hear. Salama, at what point and how do you start focusing on second stream of income or project without affecting the first stream or project? Well, you got to ask yourself, is the first stream fully optimized, right? Have you done everything you can to nurture that? That's what I'd be asking. Does that help with the first one? What I like to do is, if you don't have multiple streams in one business already, then why are you going to start something completely fresh? If anything, it's like you have this one product, let's say. How do you either get more attention to the product and talk about it, right? Or how do you add another product that also lends itself to this product to then also cross promote back and forth? That's what I'd be asking. It's not like, how do I start something else with another income stream until I get the first one to where I want it? That's what I would ask. Let's see. So Derek says, I'm going to unsubscribe. And as you say, get them out of my inbox. These internet marketers are using COVID-19 and coronavirus as a hook to get your email address. Yeah, that kind of bothers me. I try not to even use COVID-19, to be honest with you. And it's not that I'm not compassionate about it or I'm not thoughtful of it. I am, but I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be like, right now in this terrible time, you need to do this and that. I don't want to play that card. Even though I do think it's an opportunity for people right now, not an opportunity where you would capitalize on that. I think for people that are wanting to get into the online business world, I think it's a great time. But I'm not going to lean on that and try to, make people think that they have to get in now because of it. I don't want to play that card. It's just not, it wouldn't sit right with me. But yeah, I get what you're saying. I see it myself, and it's kind of annoying, to be honest with you. Let's see here. Wow. Let's see here. We got a lot of questions coming in today, guys. You guys are fired up on this Friday. Let's see. Okay, right here, Salama. How have you dealt with FOMO syndrome? Yeah, fear of missing out. It's a good one. It's a great one. Well, number one, again, it's not always easy, but I try to tune it out. I'm not going to subscribe to, number one, just something because of a desired like result in a sense, like, oh, that would be great if I could do that. Right. And it's not, I know that I'm probably, it's just like, I don't let myself get tempted because I don't put myself in that environment. I try to be very disciplined in my inbox. I try to be very disciplined with who I pay attention to, whether that's online and social. So it's just that. It's like, why you got to ask yourself, why am I drawn to this thing? And why am I afraid of missing out? Like, afraid of missing out could be like, oh, if I don't start podcasting today, then I'll never be able to podcast. That's crap. You can start podcasting now, or you can start podcasting a year from now and still do okay. Yes, you could say, well, I'd be a year ahead, and you would be, but you don't have to worry about like, oh, I'm going to miss out on this opportunity. So it's a discipline thing. Let's see, Justin, people want to learn everything before they start. It's human nature. Yeah, you're 100% right. We all do. I mean, heck, was it yesterday? Yesterday, I think it was that we finalized our colors. Now get this. Like, I was so like, I couldn't settle. I couldn't feel settled until I had my colors picked out for this new thing that I'm going to be sharing here on the podcast. And I'll be sharing it here with you guys on May 11th. Which I've committed to now. So it's one of those things too. You commit to it, you got to do it, right? And so we're having some things designed, and it's really exciting, a little scary, not really, but a little bit. It's just the fear of unknown, right? And now I'm really excited because yesterday it clicked. We seen it. We're like, my wife and I were looking at it. We're like, yes, that is it. And even like some messaging that we were tweaking with, I'm like, that's it. Like, it just feels like it's exactly what we need. So, you know what I mean? Like, you're going to have those doubts, but when you're trying, like, I could say, okay, I want everything built now, but it's really like the first part, I needed the colors, I needed the design, I needed the style before I could do that. So I don't need to figure all that stuff out yet. That'll be figured out, but just not all right now. But it's human nature to want to have it figured out. I get it. Totally get that. Mihail, what's up? It's not okay to build content on YouTube channel until I get some interest, and only then to make a website. No, Mihail. I mean, you start whenever. Don't worry about you're not going to get attention day one. It could take 6 months. Okay. But you got to start building. You got to start taking action on something. That's the only way you're ever going to be able to even have a chance. We have 2 brands right now that we started almost at the same time, and we're documenting that process inside of Brand Creators Academy. We just got our final traffic numbers in, and the month 1 and 2, we had like nothing, and we were producing like 10 to 15 pieces of content a month on each one. Big goose egg, got barely anything, maybe a couple visitors here and there. Last month, because we just wrapped up, each site got over 20,000 page views. And all we did, guys, is follow exactly what I'm talking about here. We didn't do any black hat stuff. We didn't do any backlinking stuff. We didn't do anything that would inflate the numbers or do any of that stuff. We basically were disciplined, one project at a time, one step at a time, but we kept taking action on a regular basis. And that is huge. That is huge. Okay. Social media agency ATL. How do I get them to stop selling my email to others? That's crazy. Yeah. I've seen that. I don't like that. It's against the law. If you sign up, you should see that under there. We will never sell or rent your email. So if you don't see that, I wouldn't subscribe. But yeah, that's right away. I mean, that would be like, I would just unsubscribe from that company and then, try to figure out who, had got my email or how they got my email and then try to unsubscribe from them. But I think also just cleaning your inbox, like whenever you get something like that, you can just hit the spam, filter up on top of your inbox and do that. Focusing on your why helps not get distracted. Yes, exactly. Because you know what? You can't look and see like someone else has this beautiful lifestyle on Instagram and you're like, yes, they're awesome. They're perfect. And a lot of times it's crap. Come on. We all have issues. We all have problems. We all have things that we're struggling with just at different levels. It doesn't matter, right? But if you're following something, everything just looks perfect and they're never talking about anything that they struggle with or mistakes. Personally, I just wouldn't follow that person. It's not true. It's not real. There's no one in the world that can say they don't have days that they feel afraid or fearful or something didn't work or any of that stuff. So that would be You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I wouldn't follow those people. I think that's the easiest solution. Can we unsubscribe to all of them at one time? Well, you can, but you'd have to go individually. I don't think you can go into your inbox and just say, delete all these. I would just say, start paying attention now, and then just start unsubscribing. Just do a little bit of a spring cleaning, Alte, I promote gold investment products like gold bullions, targeting people who can invest a few $100,000 at once, but cannot attract buyer traffic. My visitor seems to be tire kickers that don't buy. Well, I think it's putting out the right bait in a sense, right? So whatever you're putting out in content, it kind of seems like it might not be attracting the right person. So it's always about like figuring out who it is that it would be. Like if you're doing this and you're targeting people that don't have any money, it's gonna be hard for them to buy in. So it's always about the market. You got to figure out the market. Dimitri, yeah, hey, what's up, Scott? Always wanted to ask you a question where the name Amazing Seller comes from. I understand Amazon, but is there more behind it? How did you come up with the name? Well, there's going to be more talk on that coming up. And it's funny that you ask that because in the very beginning, we all knew that, Amazon was where I kind of started. So it was really selling on Amazon. And for me, it was about becoming, and at the time I said to myself, I don't want this to be something that's only Amazon based. I want this to be about an online business. And so I know some people have used the name Amazon, which I can't believe that they would use that. But so basically it came from just becoming an amazing seller of your products and your business at the time. We've evolved. You guys have known that I've been listening to the podcast and everything for 5 years or whatever. Things have evolved. We've pivoted. We're more talking brand building now. I mean, heck, I've got an academy called Brand Creators Academy. I've got our live event that was called Brand Accelerator Live, right? So to me, everything is about building a brand, and that's the focus. But the name was kind of just, at the time, it was more about selling products, to be quite honest with you. It's a great question, though. Thank you for asking that. Made me think about that there for a minute. All of them, they are all shiny objects using the coronavirus and COVID as a hoot. Yeah, we just talked about that. You're right. It's frustrating. It is. Karen, it's the perfect time to build my business because parents are home with their kids. I do not use the virus either. I just want to help. Good. If you come from a place of serving, you'll always do just fine. Let's see. Okay. How do we deal with the upsell after a purchase and they're continuing upselling even after you didn't buy from them at all as an affiliates or in all the affiliates? It just sounds like you did. Now, there's nothing wrong with upselling. Let me just first off say that I'm okay with being upsold. I'm okay with having a what we call an order bump. It's something that would be useful for the thing that you're trying to accomplish, right? I'll give you an example. So this right here, this is our playbook, okay? This sells for $4.99, okay? Now, there's nothing major to buy on the back end of this. The only thing that there is to buy on the back end of this is eventually, when we open Brand Creators Academy, this tells us that you are interested in building a brand. So that's it, right? There is an order bump. That is an audio version of this. So some people that buy this, they don't want just the book, they want an audio form. So for $9.99, you can get that, right? So see how it's related and it's beneficial. And then there is another option that for people that struggle, they struggle with finding their market, finding their niche. And so we have a market masterclass that's only available if you purchase this for 99 bucks. And that's it. That's the entire funnel, right? There's not like, oh, they didn't buy this, then buy this. They didn't buy this, sell them that. It's none of that. I don't like that. I don't like it myself. As long as it benefits them, why not give it to them? Why not offer it to them? You're doing them a disservice if you don't, but there is a sleazy way of doing it. And then a constant, or here's one, you didn't buy it the first time. And then you go to leave and a pop-up comes on and goes, get it today for 50% off. You were just going to sell it to me for full price. And now you're going to sell it to me for 50% off. I don't like that. I had that happen with a Kirby vacuum salesman years ago. They came in, wanted to sell it to me for like $2,000. And then they're like, what if I could give it to you for half off? I might be able to get my manager to knock off half off just to be a first-time customer of ours. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, that just doesn't sit right. You were going to take $1,000 extra from me, right? So again, it's not always bad. Rebecca, print on demand is my shiny object, even though I should be focused on optimizing my blog or FBA. So print on demand, meaning that you could sell t-shirts, you could sell books, you can sell that type of stuff, mugs and stuff like that. That's so again, it's a whole nother thing. Now, if you can set that up, that will also add a revenue stream to your current business, then I'm okay if it sets it up one time, right? But I wouldn't go and try to, like, you're going down the road of building a print on demand business, right? An Amazon, print on demand business. That's, then we're talking about a whole nother thing, right? But if you're just adding a Teespring little sales page with some different, some different shirts or different tote bags or something, I'm okay with that. But again, if you're trying to optimize your blog, then I wouldn't distract myself with that, because I know if I optimize my blog or Fulfilled by Amazon, then I know that that's going to directly help the business right now. More so the blog, because that's long tail, right? That's long term. So I get it. Is it better to have content first or build your website with all functionality first? Not all functionality. The home base needs to be created. Yes. That just means a place that you can have someone come and read your content. It doesn't have to be perfect. The logo doesn't have to be perfect. None of that stuff. But the basic shell of a website should be in place with a simple logo, a simple menu, and basically a place that you can start posting blog content. Then you can start to shape it and kind of finish it off in a sense. Let's see. Hell, I'm making 2 to 3 videos per week so far, but it's moving really slow. It's okay. Keep going. Okay. We created 15 articles a month for 3 months before we seen anything, right? You got to keep going. The only thing I would say is when you're doing those videos, the only thing I would be focusing on with those videos is I would be figuring out, that's the only thing I would be learning more about, is how to optimize my videos, how to create a better hook, how to find better keywords for my video. That is the only thing that I see how that directly relates to that. It's not doing a shirt print on demand business and doing your videos. Like, you gotta focus the energy on one. Let's see here. Okay. Can we talk about writing attention getting emails tomorrow? Yeah, of course we can. Karen, if you're going to be here, I will do that. I had something else scheduled, but we'll push that till Sunday. So we can talk about writing attention getting emails tomorrow. So yeah, we can definitely do that. And I think you had an example or something that you wanted me to go over. So if you can put that in the comments for me, that would be helpful. So tomorrow, guys, we just decided we're going to talk about writing attention getting emails tomorrow. That's what we're going to do. So probably what I'll do there is I'll give you some examples of some subject lines that we can use. And then also we'll talk about how to get them read and also get people to click. We'll talk about that. That's always a popular topic. Dimitri, also, you always say how many is in your team? Well, it could be just me and my wife. No, but yeah, right now, currently, I would say if you figure VAs, we've kind of stripped it down. I think 5 is about where we're at, maybe 6, but not all full time. My wife actually has, we've been partners in business for a while in all different types, but she's really, she's come on board here this past 3 months, this new direction that we're going, a little bit of new direction, just this little new spin that we're doing. She's been helping with a lot here, and May 11th, we're going to be announcing all of that. So she's been someone that we've added that's just been more of a bigger role right now. But yeah, it's not a big team at all. And I don't want a big team. Okay, guys, I want it lean and mean, right? Like, I want it thin. What up, Big O? Derek, what do you do with people that sell your old crap there, that bring back and you can see it's outdated? Are you talking about a product that being like that, like a digital product or a physical product? Scott has done dozens of products on this subject. Okay, I'm not quite sure what we're talking. What do you do when a marketer sells you something after you less than a year? The thing you bought is no longer there and it disappears and back again with a new name. Oh, I see what you're saying. So they sold you something and then didn't give you access to it again. I would reach out to them and say, yeah, I seen you change the name, but it's the same thing. Can I get access to that? We've always done that. If, we had a private label classroom for the longest time. Then it was Ecom Business Formula, which was different. But we had some of the same principles in there. And then people that were in the one training, we just gave them access to the other training. And then now Ecom Business Formula is really kind of turned into Brand Creators Academy because it's a lot more of the brand building side of things. But the training that they paid for, you're always going to make available to them. At least you should. If making videos and converting to a blog with Temi, should I focus 100% on YouTube SEO instead of 50-50 with blog? If making videos and converting to a blog with Temi, should I focus 100% on YouTube SEO instead of? No, I mean, I would do your basic SEO on YouTube, which is, good title, your description, and good tags. Like that's the basic stuff. But I would definitely then I would focus on the blog, to be honest with you. And then I would take the video and I would embed it on the blog. And so the blog would be more of a primary focus for me. Even if the video wasn't fully optimized, I would focus more on the blog personally. Salma, do you have the name of the video embedding software? Oh, I do. I actually made a note of that because I didn't want to forget for you guys. It's called Embed Video Thumbnail, and it's a WordPress plugin. It's called Embed Video Thumbnail, and it's for WordPress. So hopefully that helped. All right. And then my first email will go out on Sunday at 6 p.m. We are giving free worksheets to them the first week of every month. All right. I would first off, okay, that's cool. We'll talk about that tomorrow, Karen, but why 6 p.m. at night? I'm just curious. I probably would say I would do it earlier. I would do it in the morning, or I would do it. And if you're doing, you said Sunday's not generally a great time. If you were, I would make it in the afternoon. But typically during the week is best. But I see what you're doing. You're probably doing that for the start of the week because it has to do with school. So I would just be careful with sending it out on a Sunday. And if you do, late at night just doesn't generally do well. So maybe first thing Monday morning is better. That might be a better way to do that. Mihail, what do you use to make thumbnails for YouTube? There's a bunch of different things you can use. I mean, I've done it where you can just go into Keynote and just kind of put stuff together and take a screenshot of it. I've used Photoshop. I've hired people to do it. But for the most part, Canva's a great one to use for it. It's free and got a lot of great templates. So just, you don't have to overcomplicate it. The biggest thing there is you want it to be unique in a sense and just look different. That's all. The video thumbnail embed you just mentioned, is that something that would apply to me, Scott? Yeah, Troy, it would, because what it's doing is it's going to load a thumbnail image versus it loading the whole video. And then once they click on it, then it loads the video, and that helps the speed of the site. Yes, the start of a week. Yeah. So either Sunday in the afternoon or Monday morning, like Monday morning beginning, like I'm talking like probably like 7 a.m. Eastern time. And Derek, what do you do if they sell you something and then still, again, something else that is really the same exact, considering different product and different functions and saying buy the new one? I would just ask them. I would ask them legitimately, like, hey, I feel like I bought this. It's the same thing. I think it is. And then let them say, no, it's not the same thing. These are the differences. And it's an upgrade. Maybe we're going to give you an upgrade to get it because you've already purchased the one thing. It's kind of like software. A lot of times software, you can have free updates, but then when there's a major update, then they usually charge you for it. It's pretty typical. All right, guys, we got to wrap this up. We can go on forever, but this is our Friday coffee talk. Do me a favor. All right. If you have something that you want me to mention or to talk about here on an upcoming coffee talk, then just drop it in the comments. Let me know. So this way here, we can talk about it. All right. And then also do me a favor, invite a friend. That's all I ask. I'm not asking you to buy anything. I'm asking you to invite a friend. That is it. This whole thing for me is to really get more people like us to hang out in the morning and to be inspired, motivated, and take action on something that day that benefits our life and our business. That is what it's all about. All right. So make sure that you invite a friend, like this, share it. If you're on YouTube, subscribe to the channel. If you are on Facebook, like the page, and that way you'll be notified. Maybe click that little bell thing that they have on there, or the notification tab, whatever they do. They're always changing that. And if you're on Instagram, you guys can just make sure that you're following me. And that's pretty much it. So Guys, I want to thank you. I want to just say, let's get out there and rock our weekend. Let's go out there and take some action, right? Let's simplify it. Let's not overcomplicate things. And let's keep those blinders on and keep coming back here, because I'm going to make sure that you keep those blinders on. All right. So that's it, guys. That's going to wrap it up. As always, take care, take action, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye, guys.